Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your pal, Ronnie. You know who I be? I be Ronnie. Almost started to rap. Nobody wants to hear that. But just going to be here today. I'm going to answer a few viewer questions. I really miss hanging out with you guys. So probably do this once a week where I come on here, spur of the moment, just hang out, have some fun. So let me check the YouTube feed here to make sure everything is correct. And then we can answer a few questions and go from there. But I hope everybody is doing well. It's a beautiful Saturday there. A little on the chilly side, but it's nice. I wanted to go to Maine this weekend, but the weather yesterday and today were not really all that great, so chose not to. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. I may go during the week. It's what I can do now, work for myself. I don't need to go on the weekend like everybody else does. I can go like during a different set of days, like just go. Like, hey, baby, let's go Monday to Wednesday or whatever not. So we'll see that one and think about it. Getting cold up in Maine, though. So, but beautiful time. I wanted to catch a moose or something. Not like catch a moose and take it home, but like see a moose and go up to like Acadia National Park. But I don't know. But what's up? Hope everybody is doing. What's up, Pete? What's up, Dawn? What's up, South London resellers? Got England over here. Deep fried deals. Tommy. Karen at the beach. Hope everybody's doing well. And, you know, I got a bunch of viewer questions. So one of the questions was, and this is like one of those questions I have to talk. I can't reply back in a message because it's just too long. And, you know, as in words of Krillin, it's going to be a short story. I'm not going to drag this one out. But why do I not do Amazon anymore? At one time, we were very big in Amazon. We were doing probably, I don't know, our best year was at the warehouse. So I want to say like moved in the warehouse in 2014, moved out of the warehouse 2016. So 2015, we did a lot of like sourcing road trips. I just got the truck. What did I have? I didn't even have the Suburban at the time. I had a Ford, Ford Excursion. And, you know, there's a lot of space in there. So you could really go anywhere and everywhere. So we'd go all over New England, thrift stores, retail stores, and kind of eBay, Amazon. And Amazon wasn't that bad at FBA. You know, we had the warehouse. We could store stuff for a few weeks and send it out. But it got to be a pain in the ass. And then Amazon just kept on raising their fees. And then we got into the issue with Amazon. Everything that we got into at one time or another, it almost seemed like right after we got out of it, they start gating that item. And gating, you have to get permission to sell and go through these like all these hoops, sometimes even pay money. And it was just like, that's not for me. Or you get restricted on that item. We got restricted on what was it? The flea and tick medicine that we got at Walmart. I wound up paying like $2,500 for 500 flea and tick medicine. I mean, they were doing pretty good on eBay. I mean, pretty good on Amazon. Paid $5, sell for $30, made somewhere around $18. But you see the big part there. You're paying $40 in fees for that item. That's another thing. Did not like the fees. Amazon is very strict on their fees. And between getting, and then we got hit on, it was like they had another restriction. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like this thing, and you have to send in all this like craziness on like if the item is hazardous restriction or something. It was so stupid. I got totally, you know, eBay is so much simpler. Just list it, sell it. You know, since we've moved into the office, eBay's been really good for us. eBay's been averaging between 13 and 14 the last 2 months we've been here. So it's been really good for us. But Amazon, I really haven't done anything with Amazon. We sold a few things there early in the year that we had, but I basically pulled everything. I maybe have a half dozen things in there. If it doesn't sell, over this Christmas, it will be recalled back and probably redonated because a lot of it's like CDs that we got from like, if you guys remember, I picked up like, I don't know, it was like 3,000 CDs or something that we got off of someone for a few $100s, and I've made over $10,000 off of that. I made $10,000 like 2 years ago, and I've sold since then, not huge amounts, but we've sold some CDs. And they were all mostly new CDs, but some of them like sending in 30 or 40 of the same CD. And when you have certain CDs that don't sell all that often, some sold really well, like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Who knew? Who knew people wanted Mark, what was his name? Mark Wahlberg CDs, but they were selling for like $35, which was crazy because I would set out the price that you needed for Prime, and they were selling. I don't know what people were doing with them, but anyway, so I didn't like Amazon. Between their fee structure, between getting gated and regulated on what you could sell, it became a thing I just didn't want to deal with anymore. And we wind up leaving that platform. Will we sell on there again? Probably not. But, you never know what could happen to it. Could walk into something in a few days and sell something. But for the right now, I don't see that happening. Another thing comes up a lot. A lot of people ask, are we, I've talked about moving in the past, and my wife, there's a bunch of different things we were going to move, and then all of a sudden the wife got a job. And since the wife is now basically unemployed, technically, I think she's been let go. I don't know. There's like this whole thing. It seems like for weeks they keep like putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So I don't know exactly the details. I don't kind of get into her business all that much, even though it revolves around us. But airline thing is crazy. But I was looking at the house prices, and this is crazy because, I think maybe we were talking like maybe we need to buy a house. eBay does very well, and I just got done paying our part of the taxes this year. So we claimed a lot to put us in a position, and then next year we're going to do the same thing. And then since interest rates are really low right now, could easily afford, probably with down payment and everything, I would say somewhere in that neighborhood, tops would be like 500,000-600,000. So when you put it into the ballpark, I was looking at like what houses cost here in our area, which is Barnstable, Massachusetts. And the average medium list price was $525,000, with price per square foot at being $314. So then I just checked out other places because we talked about moving to Florida where you could maybe yard sale year round. Like yard sales this year have been like on Cape. I don't know if there's like an issue with them giving out, what do you want to call it, like permits and stuff like that for yard sales, but yard sales have been like far and few between, and estate sales have just been, I'll see 100 people online, and a lot of people told me there's like no social distancing in yard sales. Estate sales. And I'm not looking to get sick over going to a estate sale. Like, after what happened with Dead Pins and Pesos, I got no issues with trying to catch any of this craziness going around. So I protect myself as much as possible. And being an estate sale with a bunch of crazy people is just not my thing for this year. Hopefully this will clear up at some point. Who knows? But then I looked at other places like Pensacola, Florida, because my parents are big. We lived in the Panhandle in junior high for 3 years. We actually lived in Fort Walton Beach, right next to Chad, technically. We actually lived in Mary Esther. And Fort Walton Beach is like where my dad worked. He worked for I forgot what the name of the company was. They had something to do with making equipment for fighter jets. And it was in the late 90s. And then that whole thing went to crap. They wind up laying everybody off because they weren't doing fighter jets anymore and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, make a long story short, we lived there for 3 years. My parents would love to move back now since technically they're in a good place. So Pensacola, that same house 212,000 and 126 per square feet. So actually really kind of make you think like, that's not a bad idea. Get a lot more house in Florida than you do. And then like Tampa, my wife said Tampa because she could also possibly, get a job with JetBlue, transfer with JetBlue. And Tampa's a little bit more, about 300 and 180, $300,000 average home and 183 per square foot. So depending on where you want to be and what your money can get you, Massachusetts, I'm going to stretch myself out as much as possible, trying to get a house which may not even fit what I want to get. Like a garage. If I get a house here, I want to at least 3 bedrooms. And actually, believe it or not, 525 is like kind of pushing it for that. Believe it or not, crazy. So I looked at that. Maybe we'd have to look around and see about some things. But warmer weather might actually, since I've lost weight, because fat people and heat don't like each other. Since I've lost weight, though, yeah, fat people don't mind. As you get smaller, the heat becomes not much of an issue as it does when you're heavier. Just saying. Another thing too is we started the whole baseball card channel, trading card channel. Tell you the truth, after thinking about it and after talking to a bunch of people, hit me up. We're probably just going to keep that on one channel. I have a hard enough time running one channel, let alone going to a second channel or a third channel. I don't know how these people do all these different channels, but it's part of reselling. It's part of what we're moved into recently. We still do the clothing, but this is like a second part of our business. It's all kept under the same thing. Currently, I have 11 different orders off at PSA. Now, not everybody's going to understand what that is. PSA is a grading company. There's really 3 different grading companies that you would deal with. Beckett is the other one, and SCG is the third, which is like a distant third. I wouldn't mess with them, to tell you the truth. Wouldn't really mess with Beckett either. As PSA owns the market share for the most part. You want the most money for your card? PSA. Whole different story. I use a person that sends the cards in bulk and gets you a better price. So I got approximately 11 orders in since the end of August. Some are split between a 20-day service, some are between a 45-day service. And I'm learning that it takes time for these cards. I have it's approximately 650 cards, I think, with and I'm sending like every week. So I'm hoping some of these cards will eventually start popping, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Like the first shipment will pop. And that's a big one. That's a 106 card order that even if I get 50% tens on, I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like $15,000 in that order. So it would be nice to get that order back. And it would come back basketball starting. I think a majority of my basketball cards. I kind of set it up that the cards come back in like the start of the seasons. So start of baseball, start of basketball. I don't mess with football cards really. Football cards are too risky for me. I'm sorry. As you see, all these guys get hurt all the time, and it's crazy that these guys get hurt like consistently. Top players, and I don't know. For me to chase a football player, can't do it. But I'm going to show you kind of what we do here and there, and we'll have it in our channel breakdown. You can go on our channel and you can search certain videos, and we'll have those under the cardboard flips videos. So who knows? I probably have the cards come back graded in the way I think there's probably $90,000 to $100,000 in cards, and I've spent a lot of money doing this. I've flipped a bunch of cards. I've flipped a lot of signs over the start of Corona, and kind of when you're at home, and I got this a lot. I was frustrated. I was down, about everything going on, and I was freaking crazy, like someone that loves to go out thrifting twice a week and go to 20 stores in a week, all of a sudden you tell me I can't go anywhere. Like, I was frustrated, and tell you the truth, because thrifting or searching for stuff, if it's no matter if it's in somebody's barn or if it's a estate sale, a yard sale, whatever it is, an auction, like that's what I love to do. Thrift stores technically is probably on the bottom of that list. It's just what our niche is. Thrift stores is where I find that stuff, but it's not. If you watch our videos from 8 years ago, that's really not what we started this channel on. Actually, it was Amazon, talking about book selling. Some of those videos might not be on there, but we were book selling like little mofos. It's like there were certain stores that we went into in Boston. There was a South Boston. It's a little store. It's a Goodwill, and they would have some great books. Most of the time, I could come in there and pull out books that are really good. And the Quincy Goodwill, the Home of the Presidents, I think it's called, was another place that seemed to always do very well for books. I don't know why. They have a lot more. They used to have a lot bigger selection though at that store. I never did well at Savers. I never even would look at their books, to tell you the truth. So it was always the Goodwills that did well. I can't remember going to Salvation Armies looking for books. And then eventually we got out of it and we went in, because every once in a while, then we started like a few months into it, we'd go to the stores and we find people with the scanners. And I just seen too much competition when you already see two guys there going through books and you're like, yeah, okay. And we would try to change it up different days and kept on running into these same people. And so we eventually moved on from books pretty quickly. We moved on to certain things. It was like, then the summer was all yard sale stuff, kind of like along the lines like John and Lonnie. And then eventually I figured out what clothing was and just started to learn my ass off. Because of where we live, there's a lot of higher end clothing that makes its way into thrift stores, which is good. Which, I mean, if we moved to Florida, it would have to be a different thing. But, that's why we've really got into cards, because I can kind of, the hell am I doing? I can kind of do cards from anywhere. I can buy them at shows. I can buy them at card shops. I can buy them online, look at them, and figure out if I'm going to grade them or not, or resell them, and then send them in for grading. You don't have to be in a specific place to do that. So, but it does take a lot of work, and you're relying on one thing, which is a company, to grade your cards and come back. So it does become you're relying on somebody else in a way. Another thing, I figured I maybe when I do these videos, I'll show a few different people that I watch here and there that maybe don't have any kind of like their channels could use a little coaxing or a little love from people. And they might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoy watching their channels. I'm very friendly with both of these people, and both are good people, and I figure that their channels could get a little bit of more words right there coming out. They could get some love, or they can get some recognition. And you don't have to watch a few videos. If you like their videos, subscribe to them and let them know I sent you. But we're going to show their channels. One, let me see here. How do you do this? I think I would learn this by now. One is Just in Time Flipping. He actually lives probably about an hour away from me, up near Boston. I seen actually one of his stores where he was going to a store in Boston. It's right in the hood by us, so I was kind of laughing. Or in Boston. It's a real rough neighborhood, but he's a good guy. He has a lot of different flea market seller, estate sale guy, so there's a lot of different things. His channel is down below. And then there is another guy I watch who's kind of funny. He's a little bit unique. But let me see here. How do you do the screen share thing on this thing? Am I still in the screen share? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Go silly me. And the other one here is my little friend from Costa Rica. Well, he's an American. He went to Costa Rica. He actually sold on eBay from Costa Rica, found stuff on Costa Rica, sold it. And he really, I don't know, it was really crazy that you could sell stuff and make a living in another country. Other than like we see people in UK, people in England, people in Australia do it, but this was somewhere different. Costa Rica, of all places. He has a lot of different videos, but you can see he doesn't get all the recognition or the views that he should probably get on his channel. So check him out. He lives in Florida. He's more of that kind of estate sale kind of guy, but he comes across some crazy, interesting things that would surprise you. And his channel is Old Pal. So, you know, two very interesting, unique channels to pay attention to. You know, not everybody's cup of tea, possibly, but I think it breaks your way away from all the sheds and all the yard sale stuff, you know, into something a little bit different. But oh, another question I get. If anybody has any questions, you guys can list it down in there too. I can answer anything that you guys want. I only collect Hall of Fame, baseball, basketball, and football, mainly baseball. Yeah. I mean, I've been buying a lot of rookie cards, a lot of like numbered or higher end rookie cards of rookies over the last few years. I don't know. But older the cards too, like if you buy them raw, like personal collection stuff would be older stuff for sure. I don't think I'd be holding on to any of the newer stuff. I have like 3 cards that I would love to buy in the next year for myself, and one would be a very high grade Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rookie, probably like a PSA 7 or 8. A 9, I think, is way out of the question. As a 9 would probably cost about what my SUV costs right now. And I don't think that would happen. Another would be a nice Michael Jordan rookie or the Nike promo from 85 or both. And probably the cheapest one would be a, what do you call it? Don't run a blank on me. 1993 Topps Gold Derek Jeter and a 10. Very, I think, underrated card considered what you think the SP goes for. But anyway, that's just me rambling on like a psychopath. But we'll see. I buy Bobby Witt Jr. and Jason Dominguez. He's going to be an interesting player, Jason Dominguez, for the Yankees. It's the Dominican. So, and then Bobby Witt, believe it or not, his father used to have a house here, and he used to come into a restaurant when I used to be the chef about 20 years ago at the Ogasaga. So it's pretty interesting. What's up, Adam? Yeah, I'm live occasionally here and there, but it's been a while. Pete, the new warehouse the new office is great. To tell you the truth, I love it. It frees up a lot more space, and it's just easier for me to come here and focus on reselling. Now, my wife is not so much focused on reselling at all. I think Gretchen has absolutely no freaking interest in reselling really anymore. she lost her interest when she went and applied for JetBlue. So it's kind of more on me, and I think that's why I'm dipping my feet into the traded card things to see how it kind of plays out a little bit. You know, when I go home at 5, 6 o'clock, I leave YouTube alone. I don't go anywhere near YouTube. So like I don't watch Tommy Bernard at all. I miss watching his shows at night. Or if I watch it on my TV, sometimes my wife will go to bed, I'll watch it on my thing. I can't comment, and I haven't figured out how to comment and be a troll. And speaking of my wife, there she is popping in. It's like she heard her name. She comes right in. That's funny. But a lot of people have asked about Chad too. Chad is in good health. Chad is doing well. The reason why he took down his videos, Golden Finger Picker, is because his son his son Logan and his wife are getting divorced, and they had some issues with the YouTube channel, so he decided to take the YouTube channel down. And he just hasn't had time to make videos, so he decided to take it down. All is good. Hopefully that will get itself all cleared out in the future, and he'll be back to being able to make videos. So that was craziness, but I know a lot of people have asked how he's doing. He's doing well. The grandson is doing okay, Adam, but I think his legs are not they're not healing as fast as they would want. Last I remembered, they're not turning or whatever it is the way they should be. So it's all interesting, but he seems to be a happy kid. They both do. Both of their kids. It's just like anybody goes through a divorce, there's a lot of issues that have to be ironed out and fixed. And when one wants to be spiteful over the other, it becomes very hectic. And their energy was best left to the kids and to their family than YouTube. So, but hopefully he'll be back, because I miss Pete. I miss Chad. I miss the shows. I really do. I just miss being live. So, I can't think of really anything else off the top of my head at the moment. I'm looking at my list right here, and I think I'm all caught up on just things I wanted to talk about or shoot the shit with you guys about for a little bit. So, I'm going to still keep putting videos out. I think I try to put at least 2 videos out a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. If I start putting some of the baseball stuff on this channel, then it'd probably be a little bit more videos. And I'll make sure they're separated, so you don't have to watch that video. You could avoid those videos if you guys don't want to watch them. You guys, or you can unsubscribe too. It's okay. It's all right. I think I lost 30 subscribers last month. Go figure. Make more videos. People leave. So it's a crazy thing how that happens. This year was crazy because I had 2 road trips planned out that I wanted to. Well, one road trip. Well, when I was planning without my wife, because my wife was working all the time, so I said, I'm going to make a quick road trip down to Florida. And I had me and Tommy Bernard talked about meeting up and hanging out together. I know I talked with, I think, Justin at RVA Flips too, a meeting up, but that stuff never happened in the spring because everything went down in total lockdown mode. I was supposed to possibly see Chad, and just everything went to shit. And then we thought about it like later, but me and the wife doing this trip, doing a little road trip, but then it's like you're not able to see half the stuff you want to see right now. So I just don't know if it's worth doing that, with the whole mask and gloves and sanitizer, and oh my god, I don't know. It's not. A lot of things are just ones that you can't do anymore, so it's kind of crazy. Hey Ronnie, can you make clothing videos like the Ralph Lauren one? I probably could. I did some in the past, and there was a lot of people didn't like a lot of those videos. So, but also I made those years ago also, so I could probably try it again and see how they do and make a few different ones and come up with some brands. So South London Resell, if you have any ideas for brands, let me know. Um, I mean, she survived the airline by basically being let go. But I don't know if she's let go at the moment. Maybe if she's in the thing, she could tell me because I think she signed the papers, but I'm not 100% sure. But she's on call then for a while, so I'm confused as the whole thing and how that works out. So go figure. No idea. At some point, we're gonna break into Krillin's little. I don't even know what you call it. I don't know how he gets through that thing at 12 o'clock at night. The Valley of Death, as he's walking through there, going. I don't know how he gets through that thing in the dark. Like I would be tripping over everything. I'm clumsy. As you guys know, I tripped and fell over a curb months ago, and it took me a month to heal up because I had all this weird kind of craziness happen. Reselling game is changing. YouTube is changing. This whole 2020 is crazy. 2020 has been like a really interesting year, and we've had to change certain things we did, and certain way we get stuff. Like I've been out the last few days. Like it's like one of those things like you're going, okay, I'm gonna have to break out of my comfort zone and visit a bunch of thrift stores in a day. Guess what? Thrift store hours are cut now. They're like some of the stores that we used to go to that would be open at 8 o'clock at night, close at 5 now. Stores don't open like they did at 9. They open at 11. So it's like, and then some of the thrift stores, like we were in Boston the other day, and a lot of the Goodwills like are really bad with shortage of clothing. Like there was nothing on the floor, and I don't know if there's like a shortage of like how they put stuff on the floor. Do they have to wait a certain amount of days? Do they sanitize that stuff? Like I have no ideas, but I mean, the one Savers had like 20 cars for the drop off, but you went in the store and the store looked naked. There was nothing. So I was very confused. Thank you, Mr. Buys a Lot, for the super chat. Another great reseller. You guys want to go over to his channel, met up with him and Tommy and a bunch of other cool cats and hung out and made a day of it. Did really well. Ronnie, did you ever have the surgery that you were supposed to have? No, I did not, because surgeries have been shut down for 6 months, and they did reopen them, but I've been told that they may shut down again as this craziness kind of kicks back up again, and they're so far behind. Maybe the start of the year, hopefully, I can have that taken care of. Hopefully, that's my plan. Knock on wood. I want to get it out of the way. I imagine Tommy's giggling as Ronnie just shakes his head in Krillin's basement. Poor Krillin. I don't even know where Krillin is. Krillin is like one of the first people. I've talked with Krillin like off and on for like 5 years. He used to call me all the time. Krillin, you don't call me anymore. Why? Goodwill is higher prices or just heavy pick here now, not the bins in Springfield. I'm not much in this craziness. There's no way I'm going to any bins or outlet. Like I didn't like it before. I ain't liking it now any better. There's no way. But yeah, there's no way. Maybe I'll start selling toilet paper and start hoarding it. Oh boy, we still can't get the what is it, Lysol wipes? We can't get any of those things at our store still. Like there's still shortage on those things. It's crazy. I mean, this has been like the year of craziness. Like I remember when this first happened, and I was thinking like, oh, I could use a 2-week vacation. It's like I couldn't use a 6-month vacation though. Like, oh no, 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 no. Uh, do you ever for a minute miss the rush of the kitchen? I'm quitting the kitchen on Tuesday to go full time reselling. I really miss my crew, but this feels right. You know what? To tell you the truth, when I quit, I quit in 2000. It was November 2013. I quit. I was in my parents' house, and I kept on having issues with the guy I was working for, and I wound up quitting. And I helped my friend out from 2000. I didn't help him out in 2014 because we had the warehouse full time. No, 2015 I didn't help him out. 2014 I helped him out in the summer. But what happened was it would be like 3 months of working every day in the summer, and it was just like, why am I doing this? Why? Why am I doing this? It always turned out into more and more. And as his father got older, his father was, God, he had to be in his mid 70s now. His father's trying to do too much. And after a while, it became where they would only rely on who they can trust. And it became me. And it just became too much. And I didn't want to do it no more. I miss it. Yes, but this is, I was helping out my friend in his kitchen up until probably the start of coronavirus, like 1 day a week kind of thing, like nothing crazy, just to hang out with some people and talk to customers that come in that you've known for years. But, this year they never even opened nights. So it was not worth it for them to go through all the requirements to open up at nighttime. So I don't know. I really haven't talked to him too much, believe it or not, since then. I'm kind of one of these people, like if I call you a few different times, you're busy or this or that, you're like, hey, I'm going to call you back. Da, da, da. You don't call me back. I get disinterested in you too. Probably not a good thing. Probably, yeah, because I know him. I know his personality. He's got a lot of different things going on. Out of sight, out of mind. But I'm kind of like, eh. But I do miss it, but I don't miss the summerness, craziness, working every day. There's times where I worked 4 months straight without a day off. I don't miss that. Working 80 hours a week. My knees were starting to hurt a lot. And being a little bit heavier, that was a big load, on your feet all damn day, especially if you worked like a shift. Like sometimes I'd work from 5 to 2 and then show back up at 4:30 to work till like 9. Like, nah, it's good. That's too much. It's way too much. Way too much. Hey Pete, do you need some sneakers? I may have some. You definitely got sneakers. Ronnie, whatever happened to van life on the road plans? You know what? Me and my wife are actually talking about this yesterday, and we're probably will think about at some point buying an RV or a travel trailer. I'm thinking maybe more a travel trailer to test it out. You can get into those for a cheaper price. Like we were looking at fifth wheels and everything, but then I would have to get a dually pickup truck and to do it right, and it's a lot of money you got to spend to see if you will like something. I probably should rent one of those like RVing or whatever they're called, and they rent them for the week. I remember looking into it. I wonder how much they are and see how it is. But a van would be a little too cramped, I think. But a nice travel trailer, I think, could work. I have looked at like the newer Suburbans that have come out. I may trade my 2016 in for a new one. Not this year, but maybe next year at some point. And then when they possibly come out with that diesel version, though it depends on price. I really don't want to get stuck with another high-priced SUV that's going to lose value like crazy. Or maybe I'll buy one of those older Ford Excursions with the diesel. I don't know. Oh, maybe I just keep what I got and run it into the ground, and because it could tow, and it could do what it needs to do. I mean, it could tow a trailer, it could tow up to 8,000 pounds. The other day we were in Boston. I decided to peel off out of a parking lot to try to get across 4 lanes of traffic, and started to drift the Suburban. And the wife just looks at me like, "What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? This is not a drift car. Somebody's going to stop you thinking you robbed a bank or something." Like, just having fun. Just having fun. Yes, Ken, I've worked at multiple restaurants on Cape Cod over the years. I've always worked at the same day job, but I've worked at multiple night jobs for second incomes when I should have been just push eBay harder so I didn't have to work as much, because reselling is a little bit more easier if you could figure it out than working a second job and just killing yourself too much. Now my wife finds the wipes eventually, but every time she goes to the store, she complains that she can't find them. But she does find them eventually, so it's all good. Thank you though for the idea. I think it was something else I was going to say. Do you still have the place in DR? We actually have the place in DR. It got all figured out just before the coronavirus. We got it all worked out, and they just actually finished construction, and we're able to figure out the financing and everything. It's a little hard when you're financing a property in another country and you're going through banks in another country. It took a little work, but we did, and it's now currently rented on Airbnb, and it's paying for itself. That's my wife's responsibility, and she seems to love it. She decorated it, took 3 months off, was down there in the summer getting air conditioners and TVs and everything set up and furniture. So hopefully I'll get to enjoy it at some point. I haven't even seen it yet. I've never visited this thing. I have an idea where it is, but I have not seen it in person. I've paid tens of thousands of dollars at this point and haven't seen it. It may not exist. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, that's the one, Cruise America RV rental. I couldn't remember the name of it. I wonder what they cost. Let's go look right now. It's cheap. Yeah, probably what, $200 a day, I would guess. Cruising USA, remember that? That was a cool video game. Pandemic, you got to be cheap, right? No, that's Cruise USA. We want cruising RV rentals. Okay, here we go. RV rentals. Why do I get a Facebook page? I don't want a Facebook page. Has anybody ever used any of those things? I wonder if it would be interesting or fun. Oh, here we go. Hey, it's 25% off right now. They have different size ones. How interesting. For the day, how much you rent? Where's your rent price? All rental deals. Different codes. Skip me a price. Okay, they have too many damn things to try to figure out this. Depending on what part of the country you're in. I don't have all day to figure this out. But I'm gonna get going. Go home. Wife made spaghetti and meatballs, and very not good for diet. But hey, I'll take it today. as the wife has been very helpful since we have the office now. She's been pre-making all the food for the week, and it's been pretty good. But today is kind of like one of those days. But I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Hope everybody's well. And if I do one of these every week, just leave some comments down below, and I'll get back to you next week. But I'll see you guys all later. Have a good day. Bye, guys and girls.